If you'd like to live alone in the middle of the Scottish Highlands with no one to annoy you, with civilization behind you, then I'm here to tell you, you probably don't. I'm here to tell you and share the story how I achieved that. I achieved loneliness. I achieved being left alone. And it was one of the worst decisions I ever made. I'm going to invite you to come on a wee hike with me. We're in this beautiful location. We're not even that far from civilization because look, don't know if you can see, but over there is the city of Glasgow. This is a 10-minute drive from the city of Glasgow. That there is, I can't remember the name of it because I'm crap at remembering names. It's some sort of reservoir. It's on the screen now, so you can come and visit it any time. But I come on a wee hike with me and we'll discuss it. There's not going to be any cuts. There's not going to be any drone footage, there's not going to be any fancy nonsense, there's not going to be some influencer acting like a tit, trying to be someone they're not and trying to just sell you their fucking Decathlon firelighters. There's no sponsor, it's just me. And who am I? Well, my name's Paul McIntyre. I am the author of best-selling book, Found Outside, How to Create a Life of Adventure. I've been a professional adventure coach since 2016 and we'll talk a bit about that in a minute and how that fits into the story. And I've been a professional full-time content creator for a couple of years now. There's also caveats to that which we'll talk about because this is going to be a nice long hike in this beautiful spring day here in Scotland. And we're going to just take our time. There'll be times where I'm not saying anything, where we're just walking along, enjoying the view. And there'll be times when we're chatting like this. It's always an honour to have folk on the chat with me. And I'd like to apologise for having to have my face screwed up the entire time because I don't want to wear my sunglasses because I think it's important you see my eyes. I always think it's kind of rude when you bump into someone and they have sunglasses on and they don't take them off. I mean, even for a second, just take them off, let me see your fucking face. So I'm going to put my gloves on because it's pretty cold. And then we'll get to talking why solitude isn't all it's made out to be. Saying that, talking about Decathlon, these gloves are from Decathlon actually. I could never find gloves to fit because I'm a 3XL, I think it's a size 11. So I am plagued with basically having perpetually ill-fitting gloves and there's nothing I can do about it. But just the way it is, there are worse things to happen to you in life than have gloves that don't fit. But this place here was really a start of my just wanted to be alone. And I know you probably feel that as well because that's why you get recommended this video or that's why you watch me because you just want to be left alone, man, don't you? And I feel that so much. I spent so long asking to be left alone that eventually the world did leave me alone. You know what, it just made me, lonely. And when I say alone, I am married, I'm happily married and I've been with my wife for over 20 years. So I'm not alone, I have a dog, Ruby. I had another dog, Lola, who passed away a few months ago. And today is would have been Lola's 14th birthday, so happy birthday, my angel. I first brought her here, first of many times, right up to this bit where we are now. We went right off that edge, clambered down, she got full of ticks. It was stupid, but it was wonderful. But I think solitude is something which is good, don't get me wrong, it's something I think we all should have, but there's a fine balance of it. I just wanted to go all in, and that my wee fortress of solitude at home was it. I don't want anyone else. I've got my house, I've got my setup. Rid of everyone else, man. Everyone else. Well, it comes from a place of I want rid of everyone else who isn't serving me. And I don't mean that in an egotistical way that, you know, I'm not getting enough from you, of course not. But I mean, you want to get in. You should be getting out as much as you put into a relationship, but man, I've realised that friends I had around me, so many family members I had around me, were detrimental to my life. You know, I had a lot of alcoholism around me, and I didn't drink, don't drink now. A lot of, you know, just people who take advantage of me, or took advantage of me. And that's the problem, no, not a problem, but that's what happens when you grow in life, man. Because I used to be an absolute pushover. You know, I was so nervous and so scared. Even though I'm, you know, 6'1", I'm a big dude, and, you know, I'm very, you know, athletic and all that, and I feel like I can take care of myself, but I've just always been terrified, man. It starts from an early age when, you know, I grew up in council estates which were really rough, and I was just a shy kid. I mean, I didn't want to fight. I didn't want to get involved in any nonsense, even though kids were fighting all around and there was, you know, gangs from other neighbourhoods coming in. I just wanted to play video games and, you know, watch Terminator and hike and go adventures and stuff, which I did. And because I was that kind of kid that would let himself get pushed around, people realised really quickly that I could be pushed around. And you just, you know, I mean, you maybe can relate to this. Again, probably because while you're watching my video, and you know, just to confirm, I am a neurodiverse, fully stamped by the psychiatrists and doctors, ADHD, autism, anxiety, childhood trauma. The psychiatrist said I had one of the worst childhood trauma scores from the test or whatever, and stories that he'd ever heard. But I'm not using it as excuses, I'm just getting on with it, man, and I don't wear the badge of neurodiversity. I just try and get on rather than saying these are the things in my way. You know, I say I want to get rid of them. I want to move on. Now, unfortunately, the sun's going to be behind me, so I hope you can still see my face alright. And maybe that's a good thing. But we're off at the side of the loch now, heading up to a mountain called Duncombe. It's not really a mountain, to be honest, it's a hill. I think it's only like at 1150 feet. You would think I'd know, because I think I've been up that hill at least 500 times. When I was an ultra runner, I used to run up and down it multiple times a week. I don't know why I can't remember the height, but yeah, when you feel so out of place from a young age, and people treat you a certain way because they can tell, oh wait, I can get away with treating this person as a lesser, because this person's weird, this person's a bit different. You know, that's what how a lot of people treated me. I know if I push, he's not going to push back. It was like that for many years, and I had family members do that too, family members who are still around. But then about my mid-20s, oh, look at these geese. They're raging. Calm yourself down, I'm not coming down. Shut your arse. Get out! Sorry, I think I was pointing to the sky there. But anyway, I just chased them off. Sometimes they can be a wee bit attacky. But as I was saying, about my mid-20s. By the way, I'm only telling you this story because I just want you to know that there's other people like that out there. They feel like they just want to be alone, but then are alone and sad, you know. Leave me alone. Then you're alone and you're like, why has everyone left me alone? No one cares about me. I've been there, man. Still there, to an extent. But anyway, yeah, in my mid-20s, after being pushed around, I started becoming more confident. A lot through consuming like self-improvement content, and I used to make videos. I've had a YouTube channel since I think I joined YouTube in 2005, right when it started. I started my first channel when I was I don't know what age it would be, 27 or something, but around 2010. I actually had quite a successful channel, similar to this. But I quit, of course, because I quit this channel, The Turn Hiker, last year and came back. I get overwhelmed. I get overwhelmed very easily. It's a lot better since I started therapy, but part of being neurodiverse is looking at the world that's out there and being like, oh my god, this is too much. Even friendships, even someone trying to be nice, my god, this is too much. So I mean, maybe think about that. If you're constantly pushing people away like I am and was, that you might be neurodiverse. And a big reason as to why you're recommending this video or watch me is because you possibly are, or maybe, or perhaps this will help you realise it. But yeah, in my mid-20s, I started getting more confident. I started really going deep and going hard at adventures like this, and you know, I bought a house, bought a car, paid off all debt, except mortgage. I started to like fixing up my house, fixing my car, building a garden, getting to gardening all through the years, and I started saying no, you know, and it's like that moment like in the Matrix, you know, when Neo doesn't yet know he's the one, and he gets like unalived, as you think. He gets, and he comes back up, and the bad guy's trying to beat him up, and Neo turns to the camera and goes, no. I feel it was like that kind of moment, you know, that Neo moment where realising, wait a minute, I don't need to put up with this bullshit. I'm strong, I don't care about that shite. Which is a pivotal moment, and a moment I hope you've got to, or get to, or, you know, can work towards. But you can also do what I done, which was be like, oh no, I feel it now, I'm strong, I'm confident. And you can just go the whole other direction and just be like overly strong and overly confident, and just anyone who does anything wrong is like, no, out. Anyone wants to get close to you who doesn't fulfill the exact things you need to a T, out. You know, I became super harsh, super truthful, hurtfully truthful, which pushes people away, and it did. I'm a lot better at it now, but it's very easy to say, oh well, you know, I'm just telling it like it is. It's kind of another way of saying you're an asshole. Because there's such a thing as a gentle truth, or sometimes you have to just look beyond the truth a little to avoid ostracising yourself. And again, that's a part of neurodiversity as well. It's just this kind of overconfidence for saying what you think, for doing what you want. And I still battle with that, to be honest, because if I'm forced to go to some family event or something, I just can't help myself but call bullshit. When I don't need to call bullshit, I can just let it slide. Or someone makes like some wee kind of jokey comment or something like about me, I get really annoyed and I fight back, but I don't just like take it as a joke. I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, but you. Rather than just be like, okay, it's just witty banter, or it's just this person being an asshole. Could just let it slide, you know. Much better to now since therapy, but back on the vein, and this is all about the desire to be alone and why it's wrong. Excuse me, I need to blow my nose first. I'll leave you with this view. Don't judge, but this is kitchen roll. Kitchen roll is better for hiking, I find, because it's tougher. Sturdier. And I blew my nose right at the mic there. Often wonder, and I'm wondering right now, why anyone would watch this. Why would anyone care what I have to say? If you're still watching 18 minutes in, that's wild, and look, it's going to get a lot longer. It's maybe hours long. It's great to have you here. Because that's the thing about being alone so much, you know, that like I was talking about, when you are acting super defensive all the time and just telling it like it is all the time, and it doesn't matter, I'm just saying it. And you know, if I'm protecting my peace no matter what, you know, that's true, you do need to protect your peace. But I find I need to accept that, you know, just like I'm flawed, other people are flawed. And I can't expect everyone to just align. I can't expect everyone to just know my rules. I can't expect everyone to know what annoys me, you know. Because to me it's obvious. Stop clicking that fucking pen. You know, close your mouth when you're eating. Don't comment on my appearance because you think it's all a nice wee harmless joke. I don't like it. Or what annoys me too is oh, this is going to make me sound like a right dickhead, right? But sec, put my glove on. Gifts, like Christmas gifts. I hate the thought of someone spending their money on stuff I don't like, and then I have to just give it to the charity shop. I say to folk I don't want anything, look like I appreciate it, but it's cool, but they just don't accept it. And it's nice of them, and it's just me being an asshole, but it's a buzzard. See it? A hawk or something. Of course you can't see it, because I'm flinging the camera about like a nutcase. Look at this view. Right, folk might moan about the electricity pylons, but I really don't care. Because when I'm looking at all that beauty, that isn't the only thing I see. I've been here, I've brought clients here before, and they've been moaning about it. I'm like, oh, it's such a blight, it's so disgusting. It's like, well, look at all the beauty around. Don't look for the thing that isn't great. Don't concentrate on the negative, concentrate on the positive, the beautiful, you know. Now, it's my plan to go around the inside of this loch to get to the hill we're going to. But I do also like this way. There's lovely waterfalls and stuff in there which I'd love to show you, but I'll have to show you another day because I really want to stay next to the water here. Being down here, well, you know what, I was going to go on a tangent, but I won't. Actually, I will for fucking who am I not going on a tangent for? I'm saying what I want. Always doing that as well, that's bloody self-regulating. Oh no, you can't, because shut up. You know? This is your content, Paul, and if you want to go on a tangent, then go on a bloody tangent. This reminds me of being with Lola, my dog who passed away recently. As I said earlier, it's her birthday today. I used to love coming with here and we go around this loch and she'd play about. She'd go in the water, she could swim. Boxers aren't usually swimmers, but I was told to not take boxers near the water because they've got enormous chests and they're really top heavy, they can't swim. But she almost drowned once. She jumped into a lake which she didn't know it was grass, not she didn't know she thought it was just grass, but it was in water, so she jumped into it and she almost got into drown. So that's when she was a baby and I thought, nah, I'm going to teach her how to swim. So I literally went in the water with her for months. It took a couple of years of trying. Come on. Literal years of me going in the water. Come on. She wouldn't do it. And then eventually when she was 3, she started swimming and she loved it. And she would swim out here and just have a great time. And it's really sad to think that, you know, today on her birthday, 14 years ago, she was born, and she doesn't exist anymore. I was about to say, you know what, I'm not going to get upset, but again, I can do what I want. I always feel I have to judge and regulate myself for some, I don't know, some fucking commission who's like just looking over me and saying you better not. You know, it's this. I think part of being so perpetually solo is, you know, is having so much mind space, and I don't mind saying too much mind space. That's another problem of being perpetually solo and creating a life and yearning for a life where you're just always solo. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, like you might have felt this urge to live in a cabin in the middle of the Highlands or wherever you live and just be alone and, you know, grow your own veg and have a couple of fucking goats and there'll be no one there to annoy you. But mate, you know what that is? That's just pain. That's just avoidance. And I'm not saying I'm cured of it. I'm better than I was, but I asked and asked to be left alone. I asked and asked for civilization and people to fuck off, and they did, because you push people away long enough and often enough, and eventually they say, okay, fine. Now, sorry I keep spinning the camera a bit, but it's because when it's here I've got light behind me, so it kind of needs to be there, which means you can't see the loch so much. But oh well. I mean, I carved a life out for myself of being, doing everything solo. You know, when I was a guitarist, that was my main job I done for many years, from 2006 to 2018, I think it was. 2017, I don't know, it doesn't really matter, but you know, a session musician and guitar teacher, and I even had a guitar website which sold guitars and that kind of thing, and but it wasn't in bands. Well, I'd done the wedding band thing a bit, but it was too much work for too little money. And the thing I liked about being like a session musician or guitar teacher was I didn't have to be away like nights or weekends. I didn't have to book things way in advance. That's still the way I like things. And another kind of neurodiverse thing, I believe, is just this protect your time so valiantly, man. It's like, I do not want to commit to my time being taken up. Or if I have an appointment, oh my goodness, that's the worst thing, man. Having an appointment. Whole day ruined. But so as a guitarist, so I ended up worked alone. If you're in the studio, there's like a studio engineer who's behind this pane of glass. You're teaching, okay, you're not alone, but it's, you know, I travelled to the students. I only taught kids because you could charge more, the lessons were shorter, and they never cancelled. But yeah, I was driving along between lessons and my own. And because I worked evenings, I couldn't do, like, I used to play football and stuff, and I couldn't do that. I was back at like 9 o'clock, but you know, hiking was done on my own. I was an ultra-marathon runner for a long time, and the training for that was done alone. Travelling to running events was done alone. I didn't want to join a running group. I tried it a few times, but I didn't want to talk and run. It's a kind of hard thing to do. I was on Strava, which is like a social media for athletes. But then this was back in 2014 to like 17. I was on there, and then it became just for like became like I don't know, some middle-aged social media thing where people were just showing off their athletic achievements. Man, I didn't like it in the end. It changed for the worse. I became an adventure coach, which means I work with clients. Tell a bit about that. I'm like a personal trainer, but for adventure. This is a job I made up one day. I just thought, I dreamed for years, wouldn't that be a great thing? And I talk about this in my book. If you've read it, you'll know. Because I've sold quite a few copies, unbelievably. But I had this idea, if all these sporting people can have coaches, why can't folk who want to get into adventure have them? And so I invented the job role of being an adventure coach. And what I mean is that people hire me, It doesn't need to be like an ongoing thing for like a year. I usually do it in blocks of 3 months, and we help figure out, where are you, what can you do, where's your fitness, where do you live, let's figure out your goals realistically based on what you can do. And we have check-ins, we have calls, FaceTimes, and I really get people on the path. I don't like to keep people on too long, like I say, because you don't need it. A lot of people just need a wee boost, and then we'll sometimes do a check-in every couple of months or something. So I started that, and right off the gate it was really successful, and I've been busy ever since. But again, it was being alone, facing a camera, on the phone. I do go out sometimes with the clients, but I like to keep this for me, you know. Although I'm filming, I'm with you, I'm with my pal. I play video games as well. Built myself a gaming room. Well, again, it's carving a life where you don't need other people literally around you, and that's what I thought I wanted, and that may be what you think you want as well. But man, it messed with my mental health. People are supposed to be around other people, and like I say, if you're so desperate to be left alone, like almost aggressively desiring to be left alone, and that want to live in a cabin in the woods, that's just pain, man. We humans need to be together, because if you want to be alone, then like me, you're just saying I don't want to be hurt anymore. I want to remove the chance that I can be hurt. I've got myself in a wee protective bubble here, and I don't want to come out, because when I do, I'm challenged, and I don't like that. I want to be the perfect curator of this wee world that I'm in, and it's not a good place to be, man. It's not the place to be. I've got myself in that position through years of whittling away at it, and now I've created a life where I can generate without having to have physical face-to-face contact with people for the most part. And I can talk now about how that affected me, you know, because I used to be really sociable. You know, I had loads of friends, and I wouldn't mind going to like events and such. Even when I stopped drinking and it was harder to deal with, it was fine. But the more and more I got used to this, you know, solitude I created for myself, this bubble, the harder it became to make myself want to be involved in those things. I would start to dread them, and then I'd start to get real panic attacks and anxiety about them. And it just became a really detrimental way to live. And look at this. This big stick is going in that water. Okay. Oh yes. Right. I'm going to try my best to film this properly so you can see it. Right. Yes. Now this one's a bit heavier. Oh! No, I can't fling that in. Actually, let me put the camera down. I don't have a tripod or anything with me, because I couldn't be arsed, but I'm pretty sure this isn't going to work, but shut up. Whoosh. Oh, Christ. See, that's the thing. You say you want to be left alone, and before you know it, you're in the middle of nowhere, shoulder pressing a tree, talking to a camera. That's what happens. Fuck off! Yes! Hope you can see that. Oh, now my hands are all shite. Oh well. Could probably do with taking these gloves off anyway. And here's a wee pass. So this is where the loch starts. Comes in from the hills of the Kilpatricks and joins the big reservoir. And I'm going to try and walk over this without dropping the camera or myself. Let's go. Holding on to this fence. Oh shit! Oh. My camera work went right out the window there. Okay. A nice wee pool in there. It's great for the hot days to just go and dip your wee fanny in. So anyway, let's try and get across here. Now if the camera gets suddenly lobbed, it's because I fell in and threw the camera onto the ground. Okay, here goes. Oh, this is easy. Oh. There we are. No bother. How long have we been going? 37 minutes. 37 minutes, not a cut. Not a single cut. Not a single piece of entertaining content. Oh shite, there's a fence here. There never used to be a fence here. Gonna have to scale that sucker. Then we can get back to talking about our loneliness. Get back to talking about the harms of creating a life where you don't need anyone. How you ain't all it's cracked up to be. Alright, I'll try and very professionally get this set up. Oh, actually, some wronging's cut the fence here. Like, that was going to be some tip-top footage. Yeah, it's a shame someone's cut that, because they're there to keep the deers out and, well, to stop the sheep drowning themselves. And look at this, a wee dried frog. He died, now he's dried. Right, where am I going? This way. I need a piss stone, by the way, and there's not going to be any cuts. Right, so we're now heading up towards Duncombe, and there's where it came from. We started right up at the tippy top of that hill called the Slacks. If you look closely, and I mean closely, you'll be able to see the trig point on the top of it. I started just after the trig point. It only took 40 minutes to get down here. It would probably have been faster if I wasn't talking a lot of piss, you know. But that's just what I do. And that's why if you're watching 40 minutes in, you appreciate the tartan hiker. Because he talks piss! And apologises to no man or woman. So, creating that solitude. I mean, it first started to be a big thing, a big issue for me was when I used to go out a lot in my 20s, I would drink, and when I stopped drinking, I quickly realised that almost all, if not all, of my relationships are based around alcohol, on going to the pub, going for a night out, going camping with beers. You know, the main point of hiking is for the beers afterwards. And I'm going to quit drinking alcohol. You have to reject those friends who want to go out. You say, oh, do you know what, do something else? And it's just weird, you know, because I realised when you stop drinking, you realise you could have, my God, I've known this person for years and we've never been sober together. I mean, you do something sober, say a hike or coffee or whatever, and you've got nothing to talk about, you realise you were just a moron who was drunk with another moron. Maybe that's a bit of a harsh term, but I really think the overconsumption of alcohol in this country is really to do a lot with why people are just so fucking boring and uninteresting, because they think they're fun, you know, have these nights out, you know, get booze and be like, oh, I'm fun, but it's manufactured. This shit isn't really fun, man. You're just poisoning yourself into thinking it is. So you say no to people and then you're left alone because, okay, you're not going on those nights out. And then maybe there's one or two, which I think there was for me, who still stuck around. And I went out without drinking for a while, but man, when you go to pubs and especially nightclubs, not that I would dream of going to a nightclub now, big jump. Oh, but you realise how awful it is that you need to be drunk to have fun here. Even gigs as well. For me, it's just not as fun unless I'm smashed. Which means it ain't that good either. Just like I was supposed to go see a band. Man, I've cancelled so many gigs. I was supposed to be going to see one of my favourite bands called Creator on Sunday there. And I just, you know, I was listening to them all day and it was pouring of rain and it's Sunday night and I was all cosy and I was thinking, man, I'm going to be surrounded by a bunch of drunk people jumping around and I just listened to their whole back catalogue. Why do I need to go to see them perform at worse live? You know, and it's, when you're drunk you think it's more fun than it is to see live music, but for me, man, or maybe it's just a getting older thing as well. Whenever I'm at a gig, I'm just like, alright, that was cool to see the first few songs, but let's fucking wrap it up, lads, you know what I mean? Oh, I'm out of breath because I've been talking while climbing here. But just know, if you're watching the Tartan Hiker, that you're at least not alone in that respect. And neither do I feel when I'm talking to you. Because okay, I may be holding a tripod, but I feel I'm talking to you. You know, I really mean that, and I hope it sounds as creepy as it's meant to. Because I really do feel like I'm talking to you, and the fact is, I am talking to you because you're hearing it. It's like if the old Chinese proverb, if a tree falls in the forest and there's no one there to hear it, does it really make a sound? Or it's like Schrodinger's voice. I think. Anyway, I'm talking pish again. Basically, if someone's not watching it, I'm not being heard, but if they are, then I know I know I am. Starting to sound like Donald Trump now, talking nonsense. But this whole chat with us is about what to do when you've created yourself a life of being aloneness or want it. And yeah, once I stopped drinking, I got into being an ultramarathon runner and running marathons and excuse me. And I just found I never had time to spend with other people. I got worse as it went on, as I say, just became just me in my head. Too much to think about, too much time. And if you lived in a cabin in the woods, as I have done, I lived wasn't quite in the woods, but it was in the middle of vast, a countryside. There's woods all around and that, but it was in a place called Bucclivy. No, not Bucclivy, where was it? It begins with B. Bucclivy is in the middle of nowhere. That's near Balfron. What am I thinking? I can't remember. Began with a B. It was in Perth, near Perth. And there was no running water and no internet, no telly. I tell you, you think you want to live alone until you get no internet, no telly, and you're like, fuck! This is only so long you can read. Think about it, what are you going to do when you get all that solitude? You think you're going to grow veg? That's a big thing. I grew veg. It's like a job. It takes so much effort. It's fine if it's effort, but to know you're doing that when you're spending more to grow them than it would be to just go and buy a wee pack from Tesco. I remember when I grew broccoli, my goodness, the broccoli took so much effort. It took up a massive area of my veg garden. And I got fucking these tiny wee broccolis which had to be used immediately. And they didn't even taste that good, to be honest. The best tasty thing I ever grew was potatoes, Maris Piper potatoes. Man, they're another level. Carrots, not so great. Radishes, they were good. Little courgettes. Peas as well. You grow masses of space to grow all these pea pods. You spend ages picking and you can barely fill half a cup. Plus, when you are in these areas, you need a car. It's essential. You basically can't walk anywhere. I know you might think, I'm going to cycle everywhere. No, you're no. Plus, in the Highlands in winter, it's fucking brutal. There's the hill. There's Duncombe. You can see it just up there. But it's not everything that's... Being alone isn't everything that you think it might be. Now I basically have no friends, and I feel I'm in a bit of a hard place. Is because I don't know where to start. How do you find new in-person friends at 42? I mean, I've reconnected with some folk a couple of times over the years, the past recent years, but I just ended it because it was just this constant chat of, yeah, you know, oh yeah, we'll meet up. A date, you'd set a date, and a day before, oh sorry, I can't make it, and you know, and it's, I get it, you know, people have got kids, I don't have kids. People have lives of their own, I absolutely get it. But it's not what I want, you know. And it's difficult at 42 to find friends who are available. So that's what's important, friends who are available. Who are supportive, you know, who you can say, do you want to do this thing? Yeah, cool, let's do it. And, you know, I feel I've probably been overly harsh with friends, with people that came into my life. Like we spoke about earlier, you know, it's just like getting too harsh. This is really deep. I put my feet right through this before. Jumbo Yabadoska. There we go. Made it. You know, it's like protecting. When you protect your peace to the point that, okay, you've got your peace, but now you've made your bed, and it's lonely, you know. And again, I'm not alone. I'm very happily married. My wife is my world. She's hilarious. She's very similar to me. She's the obvious better half. So I'm not alone. But I do wish I had more community around me. I know I talk to my clients and I talk to yourself and stuff. It's like that. It's just that having people to go to a thing with. Whenever I go to a gig, if I ever do, it's on my own, and whenever I go to get coffee or whatever, not that I drink coffee, I drink like herbal tea or whatever, so I can't drink caffeine, but I go alone and it's too much. So really look inside yourself. Think and ask why. Why do you want to be alone? That's something that I never did. To be like, wait a minute, why am I asking for this? Why am I asking for people who are close to me to leave me alone? And you find it almost always come back to some form of pain, some form of trauma. So when I'm with folk, which of course I'll be super nervous about, but then when we do get together for whatever situation, I can come away feeling great, man, like, oh, you know, that kind of buzz that I've just been around people, laughing and got on and such, and I feel really good. And that's what I miss, you know. So I don't like have like family. Well, I have a dad who I care for, who, you know, was like, we're not like traditional father and son team, you know, basically just look after him. But we had a bit of a difficult upbringing. But and my brother, whom I love, and we're good friends. But I have no like other like family. They're out there, but they're, you know, we were never close or anything. And actually, talk about making yourself alone. I I got rid of an entire half of my family from my mother's side. You know, they basically, my mother was an alcoholic, and these people basically like just abandoned her and gave her no help. And well, there's a long story to it, but anyway, and they just treated us like outsiders. And anyway, I told them to fuck off. Wished them the best, but told them I no longer wanted to have anything to do with them. And that's not one of the things I regret. I absolutely stand by it, and I'm glad. But it just makes you think, man, like, it would be nice when I see on TV or whatever, or I see families on TV, or just groups of friends. I really would like that. Almost at Duncombe now. I'm going to give you a wee bit of peace from listening to me. You can listen to the birds and have a look at what's going on around me. Enough peace. It's hard to hold the camera properly. I don't know what's going on it. We are now 57 minutes in. If you're still here, wow. Isn't it amazing the things you can see in Scotland in an hour? The change in scenery of the high lowlands of Scotland. Where we are now is close to the end of the lowlands. Actually, when we get to the top of this hill, we'll be able to see where the highlands or the highlands begin. Scotland was made up of 4 different countries, if you could call them countries, entities, back in the day. One of which was the east coast of the United States, up in the, I think, Appalachian Mountains you call them, which floated away, and 4 different land masses came together to form Scotland, and we bumped into England, our brothers and sisters down south, to form the mainland island of Britain. That's why Scotland is so different. You have the lowlands and the highlands, but you have these wild islands, and parts of, you know, the east and west are really different. So it's basically like 4 wee countries in one, because they're from different places. Let's head down this big crusty hill. It's a bit icy, so I'll need to be careful. I'll give you a boot cam. There we go. Yo! Whoop. See, that's what happens when there's no cuts in a video, it's just wild camera swings. But I just want to be You know, I just want to be an honest content creator who isn't trying to just show the best bits. It's what they talk about that matters, you know. We're an hour in just now. I thank you so much for staying this long. It's my goal for this channel. It isn't really to be a hiking channel, man. It's about, I want to hang out with folk. I just want to go on a normal hike without trying to be some influencer pish, trying to make you feel bad for not being here. You know, just want you to enjoy Scotland with me. Now, I know this video, look, I'm going to be honest. This video was shite, okay? It's just some dick rambling. I'd be very surprised if anyone's even watching this now, but... And you know, I know you'll probably see when I put this up, this is only the second video, long video on my channel. But I had dozens and dozens of videos before that which I deleted when I left. And you know, that's another thing about asking for the loneliness. I don't have that many followers now, but when I did, I mean, I had a lot of views and a good amount of followers, like 60,000, which to me is good. Maybe not in the grand scheme of influencers and content creators, but it meant a lot to me. And I just, again, classic with me, man, I just tried, I'm saying, not just tried, I started getting known a lot. Like when I went out, people would come up to me every day, literally every day. Oh, Tartan Hiker, I love your content, or get a picture with me or whatever. Or people would DM me all the time and would, like, endless comments, so many I couldn't keep up with, and I just, classic me, I just got freaked out by people wanting a piece of me, you know, people just being like, even though it was just constant, it was just compliments. I like your stuff, it makes a difference in my life. I just, man, it just was too much for me at first. And so, I just quit. I deleted everything. Deleted all the videos. Disappeared without a trace. It was so silly. I should have just taken a break. But I came back a few months, well, 2.5 months ago, and I feel so much better, man. And this, by the way, see this post here? Can you see it there? Can you? This post, this is from this video I made, which should be there. I made that a wee while ago, and I flipped it and it's still there. I bet people think that's supposed to be there for something. But yeah, I quit. And even after I quit, it started to die down, the people that would come up to me, but I'd see that look of kind of confusion and disappointment in people's eyes when they'd say, oh, Tartan Hiker. Like, I saw this one guy just not long before I came back, and he was like, oh, why don't you do it anymore? And I was just like, oh, you know, I just kind of got a bit overwhelming, and they had a look in their face like, God, man, why? That's so stupid. And they're right. It is stupid, man. I should have just taken a break, but instead I went up the road. But I'm back now. And my aim with these videos is, like I say, to just, I want to make content where I can just hang out. And it's my intention to make videos like this, which will be, I'll try and have a better idea of what I'm going to talk about rather than ramble. But I just want to hike and talk with you. And it's my plan to then do the second part of it, you know, hike, and then I'll be at home later, chilling in the room, in my games room, maybe gaming or just sitting reading, and I'll put like ADHD focus music over the back of it, or chill out music or something. And I'll eventually do all no talking versions of it as well. Me just hiking, and again the relaxing after hiking part, just with the kind of nice music. I like the thought of being the kind of thing people can just put on in the background while they do other things. I love the thought of just being someone who folk can rely on to be able to get some relief from. You let all the Tartan Hiker videos up every Saturday or whatever, and my videos, I plan on them all being very long, like 2 to 4 hours. So that's what when I had previous channels, they were all in the area of self-improvement and trying to help folk, and that's what I want to do now. That's why I always said no to all the fucking brand deals and all that before. So I'm just like, look, I just want people to just have someone to watch and just get into who isn't then going to be changed by a sponsorship deal. And you know, there has to be a kind of balancing act. I shouldn't have said no to everything, to be honest. I deserve to be paid. But I just want to make sure it's as pure as possible, man. I left tens of thousands of pounds on the table last time because I thought, no, I have to be pure. But it's just part of the game. But I just have to do it properly this time, you know. I would never try and sell shite, and I mean, I'm trying to create a whole holistic ecosystem of monetising the channel where I ideally don't have to take sponsorships, possibly at all. You know, I sell my book, my website's going to be going live soon. I've got a course coming out, I've got another book coming out in time for Christmas. View time on YouTube's a good thing. Patreon. So I really want to do as much as I possibly can to minimise any sort of brand involvement. I mean, I did do some things before and I just hated it, man. I just felt like I created a life where I didn't have to work for anyone. I've been self-employed since 2016 and I just felt like an employee. And I done work for Ordnance Survey, the map company, and I had them like emailing me asking about deadlines and saying they talked about if you can send it to us before you post for final approval. I'm like, final approval? Approve this, you fuck. It's my art, I'll do what I want. So yeah, I was the worst influencer ever. But I'm not an influencer, I'm a content creator. There's a difference. You see what's mounted over there? The hills of leading up to Perth, what is that area called? Aberfoyle, that's it, Aberfoyle. Up that way. That's where the place I mentioned earlier called Bucclivie is. Over there, those hills over there, that's the Campsie Hills. Not the biggest fan of the Campsie Hills, they're pretty boring to be honest, just a big field. Plus I could drive here in 10 minutes from my house on the outskirts of Glasgow. They're about a 40-minute drive. And if I'm driving 40 minutes I'm going to drive to the Highlands, to some mountains, not to a big field. It does have a very nice wee hill at the front called Dumgoyne. This is Duncombe, that's Dumgoyne. In the height of my ultramarathon running days, I used to run to it from the house. And do you know what? I'm going to give you a nice review of it because I need to do a pee. And if you can hear me peeing, well, that's just lucky you. Oh, flower of Scotland, when will we see your like again, that fought and died for your wee bit hill and glen, and stood against him, old Edward's army, and sent them homewards to think again. That was Flower of Scotland by Paul McIntyre, to cover up the sound of him doing a pish. There we go. Top quality entertainment. They thought I was lying when I said I wasn't going to do any cuts. But there's a chance my battery may die. I'm gonna leave you when we get to the top of this hill and we get to the trig point. Put my gloves on here. But hopefully it should last until then. I ran all the way down through here once. I led an ultramarathon running group. I took them up here, and at the time I'd never explored this, but the guys were like, they said, "Oh, let's check it over there, is that right?" And I said, "Okay." And to be honest, I had to do a lot. I wanted to seem like a total 100% expert in the entire area, but even though I'd never been there, because it's a plantation area and it's really hard to run there, and I could tell from the top that that's not the kind of place you want to be. Really rough, really wet, really boggy, covered in babies' heads. Babies' heads are these things, big clumps of grass. But anyway, I took them down. I ran through it. Don't know if you can see, but there's a fire break between those two tree plantations there. Ran through there and all up through there. And oh my goodness, it was hellish. And that was actually the day my ultra running career effectively ended. And I made a short form video about it. Which you may have seen. This is the exact spot that ended my ultra marathon running career. I'm here in Kilpatrick Hills of Scotland, and there's little hidden, eroded fence posts, pieces in there. And this barrier wasn't there at the time when I was running on a practice run, and I tripped on one, and the other one it inserted itself on my shoulder, and the other one went through my patella tendon, and another one scratched up another piece of my leg. So that was nice. They've still not fixed it. They put a thing around the main bit, but it's all still up there. But I've not been here in a long time, so it's nice to see they've at least fenced it off. The moment of my ultra marathon career death. I say death because I didn't run again properly for about 2 years after it, and although I did run again and run marathons, and I still do, I was just never the same after it, after I got that injury. And well, things happen. It's just life, isn't it? And you move on. Okay, I'm starting to climb now. It's pretty steep. I've put on a lot of weight recently, so it's a lot harder climbing. I went from 175 pounds to 206, I think it was, 7, maybe 8, can't remember. I'm dieting now, but it's not good. What a big negative difference it makes to your hiking, man. Hey, don't get me wrong, I still kept fit, still kept hiking, still kept lifting weights, but I just let myself go, man. It was a spiral, bloody spiral, and I'm going to concentrate, so enjoy the view. Don't know if this view is a disaster. Apologies if it is. It probably is, isn't it? I'll get better, I promise. Okay, nearly at the top. Oof. Yeah. That's the worst of the climb done. It's a short climb because it's like a very gradual ascent to this hill. But look at that view. There you can see the where I was talking about. I can't see what I'm pointing at here, but through the trees, that's where we ran. There's actually a wee path there now. That certainly wasn't there when I did it, because this place, excuse me, sorry, this place and hiking in general changed a lot during COVID. This place used to be dead, and that's swinging back round to wanting solitude again. This place was my place of solitude, and during COVID ended up getting just constantly full of people. You know what I mean? You'd be pissed off, fucking people everywhere, but of course you're one of those people. So you know you're not in traffic, you are traffic. Yeah, I need to blow my nose. I don't want to violently exhale it like I did there earlier. Sorry, that was disgusting. But, so I didn't come here for years. There's people walking by, but it's kind of that way. I need to get used to talking to the cameraman or people here. But so I'm not a pain in the arse, I'll no talk for a bit. I'll just keep quiet, enjoy the view. And my battery's about to die, but I think we'll just about make it to the trig point. How you doing, alright? Aye. It's naked. Folk could be well within their rights to say, oh, these bloody content creators, at the top of a bloody hill, can't even get peace. But it's something I just have to get used to. I always feel embarrassed when I'm filming near people. Man, I have to get over it. And here we go. There's Sir Trixon. And hopefully you can see the emerging view of Loch Lomond. Ooh. So that the islands that go through, that's Loch Lomond there. The islands that go through it, that's the fault line. That's where the lowlands become the highlands. And you can see the mountains there of Luss and Arica. That's the true start of the highlands. Yeah. So we made it to the destination. It's always nicer to do it with you. And look at this. This wee step was put here in May 2023. Enjoy, don't destroy. And it's a shame they have to say that because it's true. Because a lot of people are motherfuckers, you know, especially out here. Dropping litter, smashing bottles. I mean, I've had to clean up smashed stuff up here loads of times because, like I say, I've been up here over 500 times. So this is my favourite place. And have I been to more spectacular places? I guess I have. But when it comes to like what I consider my home, you know, my home hiking area is the Kilpatrick Hills here in, well, not in Glasgow, it's just in the outskirts of Glasgow, but it's also attached to so many other places like Stirling and Carbeth and Balloch, Clydebank, loads of places. And my greatest moment here was in, I think it was 2022. I combined every single trig point. There are 10, I believe. It started at a place called Duncrine, which, let me see if I can show you. Oh, you'll never see it. It's a way out there. It's a wee dump over at the edge by Loch Lomond. You won't be able to see it. But I started there and I came in and I'd done every trig point in the Kilpatricks and went back to it. Some folk might argue that it's not technically in the Kilpatricks because you have to like cross a road, but I would say it is because the road never used to be there. It was something like 35 miles. It was an amazing day, and it was the hardest hike I've ever done. And I've done some wild hikes, man, but that was the hardest because it was a last minute decision. I was going to do it for a while. I just decided last minute. I wasn't pre-carb loaded enough. I didn't have enough food with me. I fed my sandwiches to pigs. I came across pigs and they were so cute and I fed them half my sandwiches. Stupid. And the terrain was brutal, man, because it's like the baby's heads and it's up and down and it's really wet and a lot of ascent and descent. It was horrible. But hopefully if I've got my act together I can put the map up here to show you. But if it's not, then I'm just doing that for no reason. And here's some pictures of me at the trigs, hopefully. But here we are. At this trig point, just you and me chilling. I'm going to blow my nose and then have one final wee chat with you. Don't create a life where you're just yourself. Don't make the same mistakes I have. Life's to be shared with other people. Accept that people are different. People are flawed. You know, just like you wouldn't expect, you would expect people to accept that, you know, you're not perfect. So we need to accept that other people aren't either. Because that's a thing with me, which you might find as well. Like, I feel like I'm so flawed and I suck so hard. But yet why did I then expect other people to be perfect? Being alone and in this life of solitude has made my life worse. It tested my mental health. It put me in therapy. It left me with no friends and desperate for a sense of community. I asked for it and I got it. There were some elements of, yeah, that was the right thing to do in it, but you know, don't push it too far. You need people, man. If you're going to come and do this, yeah, do it solo sometimes, but try and do it with people when you can. But I'm freezing my balls off up here, I'm not going to lie. So, I'm going to get my top on. I'm going to bid you farewell. Look at that. Fatty. Hopefully as the months go on, you'll see me lose that. I've lost, I weigh myself tomorrow. Friday's my weigh day. But I've lost 3 pounds in 2 weeks. I've quit sugar, crisps and all that. My diet's still not the best. It's good stuff, but it's just, you know, I'm probably still eating too much. But just swaps, it's baby steps, you know. But anyway, my plans to get more of a community is I'm going to start like doing a fighting class. Like, I don't know, boxing or kickboxing or something, just so I can, you know, get around people that I'm going to be around a lot and, you know, just become friends and just on the path to not being so damn enforced alone. So I hope you've enjoyed this wee hike we've had today from the Slacks in the Kilpatrick Hills, down by fucking loch I can't remember the name of. Is it maybe Greenlaw or something? Up here to Duncombe, where we saw Loch Lomond, Perth, Aberfoyle, the Campsie Hills, and now I'm going to head home this way. And what am I going to do on the walk home? Well, I'm going to probably film some short form content, which you'll see. If you see the short form stuff when I'm wearing this, you and me will know. We are 88 minutes in and you're still watching, and that's amazing. Remember to check out, if you like this pish, this mad guy that's talking rubbish, then check out my book Found Outside, How to Create a Life of Adventure. My website tartanhiker.com, by the time you see this, will hopefully be live. And check me out on social media. Well, actually you already have, that's why you're watching this, but it's been a blast. What an amazing time we've had. I'll see you later. Beep.